Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now this is a reading for the full moon in a Sagittarius / lunar eclipse for June the 5th, and this is a general reading that's looking at the interplay of energies that are around each sign. The way that they are embodied in my reading is the top row is seen as the archontic masks of the gods, those things that are trying to keep us separated from our divine self, and the bottom row of my cards are the actual gods, those beings who are trying to lift us up and reconnect us with the divine. Now, being 15 degrees of Sagittarius, so it's a midpoint degree, so right smack bang in the middle of the sign of the guru. So I think there might be quite a lot of, there's been an emphasis on a lot of the astrological movements recently, aspects I should say, about seeking out truth and personal truth. And the full moon in Sagittarius probably leaves us a little bit of a trap that we can be very, very assured in our truth. Now, I'm not going to discuss the astrology too much because I've already posted on the Facebook group, link down below in the description, at least 2 videos about this full moon. The first 2, Razalila Healing and Ksenia Moore. I recommend watching both of those. They can explain aspects of this full moon far better than I can. Now, this is a bulk introduction. There'll be a timestamp down below as well, so that you can watch more than one. And I recommend that you watch more than one. You want to watch your sun sign, obviously, but your rising sign as well, especially if you know what house Sagittarius is in for from your rising sign. And your moon doesn't go amiss, certainly not with a full moon reading. So 15 degrees Sagittarius. Now, this full moon is a penumbral lunar eclipse, which means the Earth's shadow just slightly touches the edge of it, but it is nevertheless an eclipse, and therefore will have an effect at least a week beforehand and a week after is what I've heard to start off with, because it does get superseded by an upcoming solar eclipse. But eclipses effects can be a long time, and full moon eclipses or lunar eclipses are very much about bringing things to an ending and completion of things, but they are also abrupt changes. You can't necessarily always know how an eclipse is going to manifest apart from change. Change is definite. Now, this eclipse forms a T-square to Mars and Neptune in Pisces. Mars is confused in Pisces at the moment. It's coming up to its conjunction with Neptune, where it gets a chance of being doused by the massive ocean that Neptune is. But it also, to me, represents action regarding your dreams and action regarding spirituality if you don't allow your Martian flame to be doused. Now, the T-square to Mars, and less so to Neptune, but still including, basically it's a very challenging aspect, but it does give a potential for success. Now, what I'm even more interested in is the fact that this is less than 1 degree off from the galactic center. So the day after these videos are released, I should be releasing my lunar galactic downloads, where we've got the galactic center download energy coming through the moon, but under the power of a full moon. This lines up immediately with the Great Attractor, which is a force out in the universe which is pulling multiple galaxies after it, including our own. It's been observed, as in seen that the galaxies are being pulled, but it's not been observed in and of itself, so it's indicating that it's very, very, very far away. But to be demonstrating an effect over multiple galaxies indicates, well, quite a lot of power. And of course, every time that we conjunct with the galactic center, the Great Attractor is right behind it. So it may be that just as the moon translates the galactic center energy, the galactic center may well be translating the energy of this Great Attractor, whatever it is. Now I'm going to read, I think I'm going to read the inside degree. What really got me was the Omega symbol, and I found a document with all the Omega symbols on them. I have yet to find out what the Omega symbols are, but it is a magician's wand sprouting golden leaves. What we set into motion now, as long as it is an attempt to exert our power, exhibit our power in a positive way, I would add, then that will bring some harvest to us. It may not bring the full harvest. You know, this wand might be sprouting golden leaves from it, but you wanted to grow an entire forest. So, you know, it's depends what scale you're wanting to work on. But if you wanted golden leaves, then you've got them. Now I'm going to read out from Inside Degrees Sagittarius 16, because 15 degrees something is the 16th degree of Sagittarius. So it's a man sharing sheep, practical fortitude and resiliency to keep finding a way to do it, to keep discovering how to get through the deepest quandaries, the greatest karmic traps. Ingenious and resourceful, paying attention to the cues, going to get it right. You're involved within a path which requires discipleship or apprenticeship, learning the ropes, building up fresh capacity in this lifetime to scale the heights. But you remain preoccupied and absorbed within honest tasks. A pervasive conviction grows and forms of how it really is. You're willing to take every step to reach a far goal and attentive to what is really there. A throwback to the old ways of a rural past, oddly comfortable in adopting forms and moving through phases and taking on the worlds. The journeyman knows the ways of the journey and gathers Earth's wisdom in small bundles, knowing how to be there when it counts. So that packs a lot into it, especially considering the state of the world, the state of the economy, the state of America at the moment. And there was one other degree, the Azoth symbol, which was thoughts being exchanged by many people over great distances. So there is that wonderful sense of community, which is reinforced by that inside degree that I read out to start off with. Now, housekeeping, like I said, there's the Facebook group down below, page, sorry. But the important thing is that page has an inbox. So if you're wanting to approach me for a personal reading, feel free. That's one of the ways you can do it. There's also a Twitter down below. I would very much like if you would comment and give me feedback on the reading. I've been doing these Full Moon Gods at Play readings for a while, so I'll be interested to see what you actually think of them and what you think of the spread and the how it's all put together. And also I try and respond to all of the comments. Thank you very much for everyone who's commented so far, and everybody who has subscribed. I'm a young channel. I'm 8 months old, I think. I'm 8 months old now. And every subscriber helps. Your next reading obviously will be that Lunar Galactic download. This month I am still to do my starseed guidance. I've done, new thing, I've done Chinese zodiac readings this month as well. So I've done the 12 Western signs and the 12 Chinese signs, so that's well worth a look. Mars conjunct Neptune later on in the month, and the second Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, this time with Jupiter in retrograde. I'm not even sure if Pluto might be in retrograde. Yeah, it is. So both of those in retrograde this time, so that's towards the end of the month. I think that's everything. Now, as I said, you can ask a question before this reading. It's not really a spread that is designed to provide you with an answer like some of my other spreads are, but you can ask a question if you want. Take a moment, think about all the questions around you. You've heard me say this before. Pick one of them, focus on it. Be aware of all of them, because the cards will answer what they want. Right, that's it. So let me bring up the cards. Okay, Gemini, there's some very distinct messages coming out here. We have Oya of the Arushas turning up twice here with deliverance and power. It strikes me that there is something in your environment that is coming to a head, coming to a completion, and it's coming to a satisfying completion. But there is a danger of interfering with that process, I think is the best way to put it. There is, we have as the archontic god forces that are trying to suppress you, Hades with the underworld, Fortuna with fate, and curiously Atropos of the fates also turns up, and Cerberus, of course, linking to Hades of the underworld. We have the water nymphs bringing in feelings, and Achilles with confidence, and Katesh with pleasure. This looks like it's a time where you could be distracted, and it also looks like a time where you could be encouraged to take an action because you feel more confident than usual with it, and it might not be the best thing to do, or that you could be confident in an action that was supposed to be. This is the way it's supposed to be, and therefore I'm going to go ahead with it. And I worry that, because we have Achilles with confidence here, and as I said, water nymphs with feelings, I worry, especially since the angel energy presiding over all of this, we have the angel of freedom, is that taking the road more travelled, or the way things are supposed to be, and the way this is always how it was supposed to be turning out, is a little bit of a trap. Now, the god forces that are supporting you, and as you know, I look at the top rows as the archontic masks of the god forces, and the bottom row as the actual gods themselves. And like I say, we've got Oya here twice, which I really like. We have Themis with natural order. How things were supposed to be, and were always supposed to be, is maybe not in line with the natural order itself, with what appears to be just and fair, and you can add all the, you know, environmentally friendly, good to people, all of that aspect as well. But we have Typhon with anger and rage, so this, rather with what we've discussed already, that makes me think that there's certain things that you look at and you go, no, that's wrong, that's disgusting, I'm not going with it, I'm not going with that. And I feel that the answer that you would get from others around is, but that was what you was going to be doing, that's what the plan is, this is the logical step forward. But if the logical step forward is not right, then it is not right. But that anger and rage in and of itself is there to show you that there is an issue. It's there to show you that something is wrong. It is not there to exhibit. Do not be dragged into the underworld by raging against the uncaring, obviously, fates here. Because the anger and rage is simply a signal to say, oi, no, look, that's wrong. That's not right. Don't go that way. Because there is deliverance from this. You have got the power to rebel against whatever this said destiny is going to be. You have the energies of Perseus here to support you. Here, seen on the Pegasus, although I'm sure Perseus did not ride the Pegasus. I am sure that was Bellerophon. However, that aside, is you can take flight and take your power to do what you feel is right, what you feel is the most natural order progression for you, which balances all the other concerns that you need to keep in balance, and does not necessarily go down the set path that was put forward for you. Because the power of Fortuna with fate and the Netropos of the fates, it's almost like your destiny had been chiseled out, and you had been wandering along down it going, yeah, okay, yeah, no, it seems right, it seems fine, you know, it fills me with confidence. I worry that that confidence is misplaced. Now, the reason I say you shouldn't act on that anger is Hades as an underworld, as with the underworld there, is one of the forces working against you. So the anger is a signal. Once you've felt it, move on. Listen to the signal, then move on. Because we also have Uranus with remoteness. So it's literally feel the anger, stand back, observe, because there will be a form of deliverance here for you. And it's almost like out the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, it flipped this way up. We've got Duke Salos of the Goetia with forgetting. It's almost, what that's telling me is this natural path that seemed also logical, 4 months ago, never mind a year ago, it's not so logical anymore. It's not the right path to go down. There is, by the looks of it, there is the opening of a new path coming up for you soon, maybe with the later eclipses. But remember, lunar eclipses, full moons, it's about bringing things to completion. Right, let's see what the tarot can add to this. Yes, so there's the... Okay, so this natural path of yours, it's being sold to you as a new beginning. I think it's one that you've got to have quite a bit of discernment about, and just be aware that those triggers, that those things where I said things that make you angry, they're going to be coming at you thick and fast. But by walking away from whatever this destined path was going to be, your attention is brought not only to what you lose, but to what you receive. Now, this is a waiting period. I am saying say no to one path, you know, the one that was nicely laid out, you know, colour-coded, sticky labels on everything, not even an overabundance of post-it notes to tell you where to go. You know, everything's lovely laid out here. But the pleasures that you will feel from that path soon prove to be hollow. And you have to look at what the feelings are that this whole thing generates in you. This new beginning is not the right one. There is another one coming, as we see with deliverance and we see with power and you coming into your own power, but it's not coming yet. What you have to make sure is that you are not putting yourself on a groove that because if things are making you angry here with Typhon now and bringing conflict with Hades and the underworld now, if you set foot down that path, how are you going to feel in 6 months' time, a year's time? Why would you do that? Why, if it's already annoying you and it's already irritating you, then why would you do that? Why would you set foot on it? The Angel of Freedom, I am always free to choose love, independence and creativity is the little logo on the bottom here. But what you need to do is not be seduced by the more ephemeral pleasures, and just stand back and study it. And yeah, listen to that anger, but don't dive into it. Don't act on it, because the feelings and the underworld are there to trap you right now. It is, okay, that's a signal that there's something going wrong here. There's something it's not right. If you're unhappy at the beginning, why carry on with it? Okay, so if that means anything to you, Gemini, comment down below, press the like and subscribe button while you're passing, and your next readings, assuming I get them all done in time, will be the Lunar Galactic Download. Cheers.